Hey guys, just a small heads up, I have a new mic. I bumped it a few times during this video. I'm really sorry. Please enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am a gaming quitter, the most delicious quitter of them all. Today I want to talk to you about the version 1.2 update that's coming in a week, I think, for the Dragalia Lost game. It's kinda controversial, let's just say that already. I like the update as far as I can tell, but we have to see how it's in action. Well, let's just start talking about it. As pretty much always, very important for a lot of people, is the tenfold voucher that we will get once the automatic update is there. But who cares about that? The most important thing is the shared skills update, I think. It was already announced some time ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. We didn't have a lot of details back then, but now we do. Let's just read a little bit of it. You will be able to equip a third and fourth skill, which can only be used by the team's leader. Note, any adventurer in the team can equip shared skills, but only the leader can use them. You can equip up to 2 skills that meet the conditions from as the first and the second shared skill. How this works is that you can exchange your weapon skill, your weapon skill, with one of the shared skills and also the helper skill that you have in solo content. So you don't really need the helper skills anymore, especially if these shared skills will recharge just like normal skills do. So you don't have to rely on having a good helper on your team anymore. Down here, you can see what the conditions are for equipping the skills. You can't just willy-nilly equip everything. You do have to prepare that. By meeting all of the conditions for equipping shared skills, you can equip skills from allied adventurers as shared skills. Note, some skills cannot be equipped as shared skills, and skills for adventurers who joined during the main campaign can be equipped as shared skills right away. So that means like Ranzel and LSN and Cleo, you can use their skills right away, which especially for LSN is really good, since she just has a straight up damage buff or strength buff in as her S1. For all the other adventurers, you need to do the following. You need to fulfill the following conditions. They have to be level 80, you have to max out their mana circles to at least 50, and you need those flame tomes, which are new. It doesn't say anywhere where we will get the flame tomes, I think. No, it doesn't. But this is a completely new thing, completely new resource that we'll use, or you have to use. There are some differences between the first and second shared skills in terms of the skills that can be equipped. First shared skill: if you have a weapon with a weapon skill equipped, you can equip either the weapon skill or a shared skill from an adventurer who has unlocked shared skills. Second shared skill: if you have a helper selected during the solo play, the helper skill will be equipped. This is what I just said earlier. What you cannot do is equip, like if you have Ranzel right here, you cannot equip Ranzel's skill again. It just says it right here. But what you can do is equip a skill from Gala Ranzel when you were using Ranzel. So there are obviously some conditions to it. You can't just do everything you want. The level of shared skills will match the equivalent skill level for the adventurer who equips it. So that means if you have like if you have, I don't know how it's going to be for characters that have mana circles. So I guess if you have a mana that have a 70 MC, let's say Yuden, and you want to use a skill from a 70 MC character, they will have the buffed version of the attack. But if you use a 50 MC character and you are going to use a character that has 70 MC, you will not have the better version, you will have the version that you have on your skill level. Which makes sense, I guess. Kinda. So then it talks about skill point costs, which is completely new. Shared skills have a skill point cost. Skills equipped as the first and second shared skills must fit within the adventurer's cost limit. The skill point cost and cost limit vary between skills and adventurers. As you can see, you have like these little icons that stand for skills. And right now, Yuden has equipped Ransel's attack and Cleo's attack, which means he can have... I don't really know what Ransel's attack does, but well, he can just attack. And he can heal himself, and all of that costs only 6 skill damage. Only 6 skill points. But the buff that Alisan gives you costs 6 skill points, which is a lot considering that you could not equip Lucca's skill to, for example, but you could equip Alisan's skill and Cleo's skill. We really have to see just how much it costs to use certain skills. Right now, let me talk about this before I talk about the whole thing in general. Regarding items for unlocking shared skills, elemental tomes are required to unlock shared skills. Each one can unlock skills of the corresponding element. Elemental tomes can be obtained from event and in the shop. Okay, I didn't read that earlier, to be honest. So you can get them from events. Okay, cool. And the shop, which may need like the Void Treasure Trade or Fafnir medals, or maybe it drops from the daily free summon thingy that you can do. So let me talk about this. I actually, when this was first announced, I wasn't so sure about how I would like this. But now that I've read about this, I love this. This makes playing solo so much easier and better. Like, I've read a lot of people that want more solo content and that the game is too multiplayer focused for them. And I think this could make a lot of content easier to play when you're alone, when you want to play alone. Like if you don't have wings anymore and you want to just burn through your honey, this could make it a lot easier. Like, for example, you could use Grace, which is one of the best characters right now for being super tanky. You could play Grace and then use like a helper skill for not helper skill, a new skill from, let's say, Halloween Lowen. She can not only give herself some defense buff, but she can also heal herself way faster, which means she can do the life shields faster, which in turn, well, just makes everything easier. Another thing that I thought of for my one of my favorite adventurers in this game is Chelsea. Like, if I use Chelsea and have Grace skill equipped, I can immediately go below the threshold that you need for Chelsea to be stronger, and also gain a shield, which is freaking amazing, because otherwise when I get hit, I'm dead. Now this way I can easily survive an attack and just continue. And also, since Chelsea can heal herself a bit, I could use Grace's skill again to give me more shield. So this is really amazing for some characters that probably don't see a lot of use, or other characters like that. Natalie, for example, is a character like that. I think this opens up a lot of cool stuff. It's complex, I think. Like, if I'd be a new player, this might, well, maybe a bit too much for me. Like, for example, I kind of got bummed out by all the new stuff that's in Fire Emblem Heroes. Like, that's just too much. You have so much stuff you can do, like with giving skills to other characters, which is kind of similar to that, I think. Just that you do not burn. My Grace does not disappear just because I give her skills to someone else, just like it's in Fire Emblem. I think, I don't even know if that's changed, but I think it's still the same. But yeah, overall, I think this is really, really cool. We have to see how it actually turns out. And what I didn't really gather from this is if you can actually use 4 skills in multiplayer content, because theoretically there's no helper skill when you play multiplayer. So you can only have 3 skills then. And also one thing, like for Dark Adventurers, having that attack rate buff is really, really strong. So I do wonder if it's really that good to exchange that for some other skill. But I'm sure there will be new strategies and all of that stuff. So This is cool. I really like this. And I'm excited to see. Also, cool new UI here. They talk about something completely new here, which they just they don't really talk about it much. There's going to be a new event type, the Onslaught events. It's a new event type. The Onslaught events will start in mid-June. Onslaught events will center around solo quests. Check out the future event notifications for more information. This is cool because it's probably going to be something like what they did with the second Fire Emblem event. Like, there's just tons of enemies that you can kill and have fun doing so. But there's not much else about that. But new event types are very welcome. So then they are talking about something that it's super dope. Like, I've seen this in other games where they like give you some missions and you get rewards for it. Not like the endeavors, but like just do something basic, like as it says here, perform an item summon in the shop and you get rewards for that. Craft a certain weapon or whatever, just like learning the game, and you get rewards for just that. This is going to be what the Royal Regiment is. Starting May 26th on... yeah, 26th. The Royal Regiment, I don't even know how it's pronounced, Royal Regiment? I think Royal Regiment, will be added to help players who just started Dragalia Lost learn how to play the game. The Royal Regiment has 3 stages, and clearing all of the endeavors in each stage will allow the player to move to the next stage. By clearing endeavors, you will also be able to receive rewards. This is super cool, and just... I'm sorry, we need to talk about this. It's Professor Knott. She's super cute. She has some classes on. This is the best part of this whole thing. But no, to be honest, this is super cool. There's some examples, and this just makes it easier for new players to find out what they have to do. I'm pretty sure some people are struggling with that, and just doing the endeavors may... oh wait, just doing the endeavors by themselves isn't going to explain the game to you, but this may help. And also, you can also do this when you've played since the first day, and just gain some sweet sexy summon tickets. That's just some new jumpstart endeavors and normal endeavors they're talking about, which will probably give us a lot of Vermite. Yada yada. They do adjust some action elements. Oh yeah, right, this is the part. Well, this is controversial, guys. Well, first off, they are going to reduce the damage taken by AI adventurers. This means, well, just as it says, when you're playing solo content or if you're doing a raid fight, your AI adventurers will not get hit as much as your selected character will be. I personally like this a lot because we've entered the meta when you're playing solo content where you do a lot of, well, strategizing how to not get hit as much or not take as much damage when you play alone, because your AI adventurers don't dodge as much. And I think this is really helpful for that. And as I said earlier, we wanted to have more solo content, and this makes it easier to play solo content. Something that not a lot of people are completely happy with is how they adjust the combos for certain weapon types. The adjustments are described below. Sword. We will adjust attacks so that the adventurer does not jump up with the 4th and the 5th attack. I love this, but it also kind of means that you will not do like 2 or 3 attacks and 4th strike anymore with the sword, but just tap the screen. Makes it kind of more like you just tap the screen and not do as much 4th strikes anymore, but on the other hand, 4th strikes are good to deplete the overdrive bar, but we have to see how which one will be better. They will also change the power of the 5th attack for Blade Adventurers. Not much about the animations, so they don't really change that. So, but probably 5C doing 5 attacks in a combo will be better in the future. We'll have to see. They also take out the jump for dagger characters, which is, I understand it from a gameplay point, because jumping away was not really a good thing when you're attacking something. But it does look really cool. Well, it's kind of sad, but I do understand changing that. They will also adjust the power of the 5th attack, which, well, just will make it stronger probably. Then for Axe Adventurers, also no jumps anymore, so characters will not be able to jump anymore. Wand and stuff will fire probably a bit faster now. I've read and heard from people that don't really like that change for some things, like because it makes it more simple. I don't really know. We have to see how it is. I'm not against it. I didn't really think that I would need a change. But oh well, I'm not completely against not having to hear Wedding Alysanne screams every 2 seconds anymore. So the most controversial thing about this apparently is adventurers will no longer take damage from the start of the dodge action to the end of the dodge action. We are now playing Dark Souls, everyone. I love this. This is extremely cool, and I think that like when you miss the dodge, you'll probably die, and it's not as long as when you use an attack skill, so iframing will probably still not be super easy, and especially someone who just starts playing the game will not be able to do this. I've heard and read that some people say this will make the game way more casual and all of that, and I just think this makes it like way more difficult. Because, no, not more difficult, but you have to be more careful, and you can also now use your skills that you usually use for iframing, like when the enemy breaks. I've had a lot of moments where I had to use a skill to iframe an attack because I was dumb, and then I didn't have the attack anymore for when the enemy broke. So now I can just dodge that and not use my skills. I mean, I'm not talking about not using my skills for hours, but, well, I think this may be a good change, but we'll have to see. You can't obviously not dodge anything in the game. What I don't really get until now is it will be possible to configure settings and options on the menu so that adventurers automatically brace themselves. Also, adventurers will no longer take damage from when they brace themselves until they are able to move again. I think what this means is when you get hit and you're in the air and then you do the little backflip, I think they mean this with bracing yourself, but I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't really know what else they mean, so I think it should be that. And they announced that they are planning to make more adjustments in the game's action elements in the future. I personally like most of these changes. We have to see about these ones. I'm not entirely sure, but also not against that. I love that we can dodge attacks by just, well, dodging. Like, this is what the dodge roll does. You dodge attacks and it just roll around to be faster. But we'll see. There are some other small changes. They changed the description text for Tiki and changed the name for buff time, ability buff skill time, yada yada. This is not really important. The most, well, aside from dodging, the most controversial thing in this may be the following, the balance adjustments. We will lower the power of the following attacks used by boss enemies in the various Advanced Dragon Trials quest. I'm not going to read them. Those are the opening blasts you have in every High Dragon Trial. Let me say I love this for one reason, because now it opens up the door for a lot more characters that you could use that you could otherwise not use. Or let's just say you don't need the prince anymore. You don't have to work around having to definitely using like an axe character if you want your wand character to survive or anything like that. But that only works if this is lowered so much that pretty much everything could survive it. But on the other hand, this also means that some strategies will not work anymore. Like the Judenstrat, Gala Judenstrats in High Zodiac, the Gala units need to reach a certain threshold of damage to immediately transform into what's his name? Cupid. Yeah, to transform into Cupid and heal all the other characters. This is like a strat that you mostly do. I think that's a strat. I haven't played High Zodiac in a long time anymore. There's also a problem with, well, I hope you haven't built Fjorm and her 70 MC, because this could maybe destroy the High Brunhilde cheese strats with Fjorm. If you do not get enough damage, High Brunhilde doesn't die as fast anymore. So we'll have to see how much they lower it. I like it, but because, well, like I said, you could use more niche characters in this now that usually don't survive without any extra stuff, but it also makes it kind of more difficult for certain characters to, well, reach the HP threshold that they need. Well, overall, I think this is a really, really cool update, especially with shared skills. I do like the new changes to the gameplay. I do understand if you don't like it, because at first it might seem like this makes the game way more easier or anything like that. But if there's anything I know from playing games where you have to dodge to, well, not get hit, it sometimes makes it way more difficult, because if you mess up, well, then you're immediately done. And some people like to get cocky doing like spamming rolls. But in the end, we'll have to see. Maybe I will make another video talking about these things when they're out, but probably not. We'll have to see. Well, that's basically it. We'll see what it's going to be like. Thank you very much for watching. This went on for a lot longer than I thought it would be, and I made some mistakes that I have already edited out when you were listening to this. Also, if you've seen my other videos, you might have noticed I have a new microphone now, and I sound a little bit more sexy now. All thanks to a very, very special friend of mine. I also made some editing errors in my other videos, which made the audio way more awful than it should have been. But hey, that's just me being stupid. So if you enjoyed my weird talking, my weird rambling, please subscribe, leave a like, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And you can only share them with me if you comment on this video. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye!